rebounding. Fresh 14 on the shot clock.
Nice.
Berger, beautiful play. 6 points for Grace Berger. Boy, Jones cut behind Sutton, got it, count it, and the foul.
The patience right there of Berger to watch that.
The Angels are here.
The 82 a game. Sundell working against Van Lith. Great matchup here. Sundell turns and scores, and we have the game's first bucket. Percent from behind the arc.
It came off the handoff, and Haley Van Lith just looking to see whether or not in Kansas on Sunday. This was off the block, but then it's a great pass by Glenn to a streaking.
Basketball average of age of over 22. Sundell, the nice turnaround jumper. The defenses have ruled the day. Prince trying to back down Connor. Gets inside of her, hangs and scores. For TCU. Again it's Sundell. Backing down a defender. Scores!
Backing down, Eminopu draws the contact and
Get her down again. No help. There's Sundell. She has it now against Van Lith. A battle of all Big 12 guards. Sundell reverses up and in.
When it gets out there.
Going to be a different experience. So many times you're coaching him. Now you're rooting him on. And how about that? McConnell, he said, leading a lot of categories. Probably not blocks for this group, but hey, that'll work.
She said, I can do that too. Don't put no doubt in me with the left hand. Come on now, even the stare down. I love it. The competitiveness of McConnell getting a big stop right in front of the bench. So don't try that on me.
Dan Burt talked about her progress this year. Dad had the...
Connell. Plenty of time. She'll stop and pop from three and good. Pot. Megan. 3 pot. Megan. 3 from the corner. And a rebound to the Panthers. Here comes Johnson. And it's tipped away by McConnell. McConnell up and under and scores. And really the first time we've seen this Duquesne pressure. We see the steal from McConnell, by McConnell.
See there, she's all over.
And trying to get it down low successfully. Fies partially blocked. McConnell, good look ahead. And the layup up and in by Green. So Duquesne getting up and running. Look at this pass.
Yeah, you see there, her eyes are up the floor surveying who she has.
Same play, and the up and under is blocked by Duquesne.
Wow!
And that's it. Megan McConnell celebrates, throwing the ball high in the air and maybe off herself.
The Angels are here.
Boys, we got action. The WNBA is the gift that keeps on giving. Megan McConnell signed with the Phoenix Mercury, and you might say, why is this so special besides her looking good? Her last name is McConnell, and yes, she is the sister of TJ McConnell, the one that's in the NBA Finals right now. Good for that family. But back at the point at hand, if you can look good during gameplay, that means you're some pain. And when I mean pain, I mean fire. I mean you look good. Look at this poetry in motion. And for my brothers and maybe sisters that want their account, I got you. It's a lot of gems on there. Look at the size, look at the physique. Now she was undrafted apparently, so I can't really tell you how good she is. But they made a big deal out of this, but the WNBA, they make a big deal about anybody on their social media, and I'm not taking that as a slander, but you could be on that team today and go on tomorrow, and you could have the illest rollout of all time. Now, the Phoenix Mercury are 6-2, second place in the Western Conference. So you could be hearing more about her. Hopefully she prevails. And TJ, my fault, OG.
The angels are here.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here. And welcome to Ace's Angels, y'all. Welcome back on into the channel, everybody. And before we start, we got another donation, man. We got another donation on the channel, man. We got one from my boy El Professor last week on the Cash App. And over the weekend, I got one from someone named Nate Joseph, who gave me his first donation to the channel from PayPal. So it was $20 as well. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to Nate Joseph, man. I really appreciate it, my brother. Hope all is well with you. And thanks again to El Professor for donating the $20. You can see the top donators on the screen. And if you donate, I will shout you out. And just about every video that I do going forward for the rest of the season in the beginning. So I got the rankings back up so y'all can see who donated to the channel, man. And if you want to donate to the channel, PayPal and Cash App are accepted, you guys. And I appreciate anybody who does donate in advance. And you don't have to donate, but you know, it definitely goes a long way in supporting the channel in the long and short term. So let's go into it, man. I needed to do this video because I was more motivated to make this video after the signing of Odyssey Sims. Kind of a questionable signing, to be honest with y'all. We know why it was made. I went over that in the video where I talked about how Serena Sundell and Megan McConnell got passed over for Odyssey Sims. We knew that was coming. I mean, that wasn't a surprising thing. But for the Fever, man, I mean, the PR couldn't have been more horrible than it's already been this season, man. I mean, you got a lot of disgruntled fans like myself who are just sick of the moves that's been made by this team since the offseason. This old, slow team that's been built around CC. Too many old heads and not enough good fits around CC. Like, the team isn't being built to cater to CC like it should be, to her game on the court and in the locker room. You know, let's talk about both things here, man, before we get into Stephanie White. When we're looking at this situation of CC and how this shit should be catered to her, if you look at her game, we should be having some fast players around her. Also players that can stretch the court. Now, Chloe Bibby actually fits what CC needs, a stretch big who can knock down a three, right? That was the good pickup. Sophie, same thing. She's not a stretch big, but she can stretch the floor. Lexie Hull, stretch the floor. Also, these players all play either elite defense like Alexie, really good, really great defense like Sophie, and really solid defense like Bibby, right? So the fits are here. Then you got, you know, Aliyah Boston, who is this pick and pop player that's perfect for CC's game because CC likes to play the John Stockton role and Aliyah Boston play the Karl Malone role. You know what I'm saying? So we got some fits here, and we'll see how Timpson turns out. You know, Timpson's been kind of hard to figure out because she's been up and down, and it's like we don't know for sure if she fits with CC's game. I always thought she did because the way she could run the floor and CC could pass it to her, but we really haven't seen her out there with CC too much to really judge right now. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I'm in a holding pattern with Timpson. But for now, I've been, you know, whenever I make videos or stated down in the comment section who I want to keep going into next season, she's definitely been one of the players that I say you should definitely keep. She's also young and with the right coach could be developed the right way. So with CC, you kind of need to bring these type of players in. Then you need really good like a really good young backup point guard, like we've been talking about, like Serena Sundell or Megan McConnell, be great options for. They had Grace Berger here already, who, by the way, is starting to do really well in Dallas. She's starting to do, the more minutes she's been getting, she's been starting to do well. I'm not done watching the Mystics Wings game. I'm watching the rest of it on the app later today. I'm like in the third quarter right now. I already know, I think the Mystics had won the game. I already got spoiled back. But I still wanted to just watch how the Mystics won. JC Sheldon, by the way, looking pretty good so far for the Mystics. She's looking pretty good so far in the time that I saw in the first half. She's looking pretty good. I think that was a good pickup. There was a lot of people shit talking that move, saying it should have been made over Aliyah Edwards. I'm like, you can't keep all 3 fours, bro. You can't keep all 3 of them because Aliyah Edwards is a starter. You can't keep all 3 of them, bro. You had to give up 1. And obviously, Kira and Kiki have been the most healthy of those 3. So they got to keep her, you know. Would it have been ideal if they could have kept her, but it kept Edwards. But, I mean, she's not a backup center, bro. You know, so you can't just keep her. You know, people didn't understand that, bro. But and they needed more of they needed a defensive guard. They needed a defensive guard. That's what JC gives them, a 3-and-D guard. They needed that. You know. But yeah, that's the Washington side. But Grace Berger, she's been flourishing so far, doing a lot of things. She got a really good steal in this game that I saw. Like, I'm telling people, if you did not really see Grace Berger last year, man, go and watch her in Dallas, man. If you got the app, pull the games up. Pull the last. All you gotta do is just watch the last 2 games, bro. If you didn't really watch them yet, pull up your app, watch the full Liberty and Mystics game. And you're gonna see what the hell we've been talking about when it comes to Grace Berger. You know, we would have had that here with Indiana, but, you know, they got rid of her. They didn't want to bring her back because they didn't want to admit they was wrong. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So this is a team that in locker room wise, you see how great Sophie and Lexie have been in the locker room. Making some really cute videos for the fans. Fans absolutely loving them and adoring them. Like, I feel like 50% is basketball, 50% is in the locker room and off the court. You know? All of the bad things that's been coming out about this locker room, that's not good, man. You don't want all that drama getting leaked out, the DeWanna Bonner situation and Kelsey Mitchell's family and, you know, Ari maybe being enabled by Stephanie White to replace her and all this other stuff, Natasha Howard and her stuff. And it's just been all bad. It's been a nightmare this year. It's really been a nightmare this year. And since CC has been here, now, during the Olympic break, things were cool. Even though some fans still wanted Chrissy Sass out, and I understand that. I'm not going to voice against the fans that wanted Chrissy Sass out, because at the time, it didn't look like they were too wrong about her. But now, people are regretting it. But I want, because CC, since she's been here, and I know things aren't always going to be perfect because she just came to the team last year, but it'd be good to have the vibes that we had from Iowa, right? When we knew CC was the central figure of the team, we had the locker room that supported her. It was a family atmosphere. You had the coach that supported her and all this other stuff. You're always going to have some drama here and there, but I'm talking about where you just feel good. You don't feel like you have to root against this team all the time like we're doing this season. Like, I've been rooting against the Fever most of the season, you know, especially like since Ari has been here. I think it's just been getting worse and worse. I've always rooted against Mitchell since probably since she's been on the damn team, because I was rooting against her at Ohio State. I never liked that girl's game, man. Never liked it. So it's been a nightmare, man. I hope that 8-year nightmare is over with after this season when she's finally gone, man. I was just getting tired of Kelsey Mitchell, bro. I got Kelsey Mitchell fatigue, for real. Just getting tired of her, man. But this team is still nowhere near catered around CC. Nowhere near it. We got a few positives if we can keep some of these girls going to the next season, but it's like, damn, you don't really got it. And that's why I brought up the whole thing in one video about the karma against the team with these injuries. Because I've been feeling like the karma against Ari and Colson was because of all this shit that's been going down this year. And you make the wrong moves, you try to slight, making certain moves because you don't like them based on a race, because you think they'll be too close to CC and all this other stuff. So you're trying to go against certain moves and stuff. You know what I mean? You're trying to go against certain moves. And then you're trying to not play certain players, the minutes they should be playing, like Bibby and Lexie Hull. Like, you just been making a lot of wrong moves, and that's why I believe those injuries happen. And when injuries happen like that on the same day like that, guys, there's a reason for that shit. There's a reason for that. Like, when they say death comes in threes, that types of stuff, man. When they come like that, it's like a sign. It's like a sign that when one celebrity goes down, two more are going down with them. You know what I'm saying? Or going to die with them. That's the same thing here with this situation. As you definitely, if it wasn't karma, I don't think you'd be getting injuries like that. Like, let's say Ari got hurt 2 weeks later. Colson got hurt this week, and then Ari got hurt 2 weeks later. I'll probably be saying it was karma in the individual circumstance, but for them to both get injured the way they did on the same game, come on, man. Come on, man. And then some of y'all try to argue against it as a conspiracy theory. Get y'all conspiracy theory looking ass out of here, dog. Not even think of fucking conspiracy theory in life. Karma does exist. You know what I'm saying? Karma does exist. You do something bad in this world, you're going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get away with stuff, bro. Come on, man. Get out of here, man. It's gonna catch up to you. Even if you get away with it in the short term, in the long run, something gonna catch up with you. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But Stephanie White, that's how she's been. She's been a complete op to CC. You know what I'm saying? Her whole goal when she came here, y'all. This is Stephanie White's whole goal. And you see the management is doing the same thing. The goal from Stephanie White, she saw that CC had this swelled-in audience. She captured this swelled-in audience to the Indiana Fever. Her hometown team. You know what I'm saying? She was a player here, assistant coach here. You know what I'm saying? She still lives here with her wife or girlfriend, whatever, Lisa Salters, and their kids. And so she said, man, Indiana got a situation where I could come in, take the team from CC, and be my team. I'm going to build it my way, and I'm going to slowly let the fans forget about CC when we win a championship. That was her goal, was to convert the CC fans into full-time Fever fans. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of CC fans still haven't been like totally on board with the Fever. Like, they root for the Fever because of CC, but it's not like, let's say CC was gone, I'm going to still be rooting for this team type of thing. So but they did it the wrong way. And I remember CWB guy made a video on this recently, that they did it the wrong way. They used her injury to keep her off the court and all this other stuff so they could let players like Ari McDonald, who fit Stephanie's systems better, shining in place of her. Mitchell, let's enable her. Let's get all these black players, the black sisters, let's get all of them. Let's get all of them to all the shine they deserve and all that stuff. That's basically what they were saying in so many words. And so you got a situation where the team was built to pass on Stephanie White's agenda. There's a lot of old heads. I'm going to tell you, it's like a war going on in the WNBA right now. There's the old heads, the lesbian alphabet agenda over here. Then there's the new school. There's the new players that's coming out of college. They're straight. A lot of them maybe bisexual or whatever, but they're not 100% gay. They're very attractive. They got the good looks. They're getting these brand deals. They had the NIL deals in college. They are different. They're more watchable. They got a more of a funner play style to watch. The Sonia Citrons, the Kiki Ariafins, Lucy Olsen, and Georgia Amore, who hasn't played this season, but, you know, she's exciting. Carla Late from overseas. You know, you got all these exciting players. You know, Flaw J maybe in the draft, Fudd, all these other players. Then you got the old guard over here who are trying to keep their lead the way it was, and they're fighting against these players, so they're cutting these players one by one, and they're not giving them an opportunity, all this other stuff. And like Serena Sundell, the way she was done on the Storm, we know why she was cut, you know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff. That's why I told you I love the way Washington Mystics and Golden State Valkyries have done things, because, and even Phoenix to an extent, but I don't like what they're doing with the Devon Bonner shit. We know that situation, but they go and scout those players from overseas, those rookies, those undrafted rookies like Megan McConnell, brought them to their team and did their homework. But the Mystics have the best locker room in the league, and that's what CC should have. She should have something where we could be proud of all the girls on the team. We don't gotta hate on nobody. I don't gotta keep doing these hate videos or exposing the racism that's going on with Stephanie White, the agenda she's pulling. It'd be fun for me to just make the fun videos, man. You know what I'm saying? And then every now and then we'll talk about the drama or what I'm displeased with, but most of the time I can talk about the positive things that's going on. I'd rather be making those videos, you know. But this season has been a complete nightmare, man. And I'm telling you, with the way Stephanie White got this thing going, I just watched Atlanta and Phoenix last night. They're not beating Atlanta. If Atlanta could beat Phoenix on their home turf, they're not beating Atlanta, bro. Atlanta just got Ryan Howard back, too. They're not beating Atlanta. Carl Zemesco is a way better head coach than Stephanie White in his first year. They're not beating Nate Tibbetts in Phoenix. We saw how that went. They're not beating them either. You know, and I think the only team outside the top 5 that might beat the Fever in the playoffs are probably the Sparks. The Sparks, I don't know where they're going to be at in the standings. I do think they'll definitely make the playoffs, but I don't know where they're going to be at in that top 8. You know, but the other teams, they're probably going to, Fever probably got a chance of beating like the Aces, the Storm. But I'm going to tell you what, Brittany Sykes, had she played in that Storm game last Sunday, Storm might have won that game, man, because Brittany Sykes was clutch yesterday. But L.A., De'Erica Hamby went off, man, that fourth. De'Erica Hamby, bro. I think I made the video yesterday saying with Odyssey Sims' old team. I said that even though the Sparks got beat by the Valkyries the way they did, they're going to bounce back. I wasn't too worried about that. It was just an off night for Kelsey Plum and stuff like that. So it is what it was. But I knew they'll bounce back. They were down in that game by a lot. But Lynn Roberts, man, she's showing you she could coach. Because Julie Alleman, ever since she's been in that lineup, Alleman had 2 key steals. And just the way they match up against LA, bro, they're too big. Like, LA's too big. Rikia, Hamby, and Azra Stevens. And then you always bring in Cam Brink to disrupt things. Like, they're just too big for the Fever, you know? And this is why I was saying, I think Serena Sundell with her size at 6'1" would have helped. You know, she's not a fast guard, but the thing that I like about Serena is she got the height, man, and she could probably even play the wing. Even though she didn't really play the wing in college, but she got the size in the WNBA to actually play the wing position like Sophie and Lexie. Because Sophie and Lexie, you know, they're guards too. But in the WNBA, if you're 6'1", 6'2", you probably going to play the wing at some point in the rotations. You're probably going to play the wing. Sonya Centron, well, she's 6'1" as well, playing the wing right now. You know, she's listed as a guard. So it is what it is. But we knew the Odyssey Sims signing was definitely Stephanie White. That's why I wasn't having any too high hopes. They should release Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson to make room for another guard like Serena or Megan. I just think it's a good idea to bring in either one of them because you want to have one of them already here going into next season. So they're already familiar with the team. They can come right in the training camp knowing what they need to do to keep their spot on the roster. And I just think it'll be good. Even if they're only going to get like 6 minutes a game, I think it'd still be good to bring them in. You don't need to keep Ari and fucking Colson. They're not going to be here next year anyways. And the other thing is they're still going to get paid for the rest of the season. Just release them. Colson's 36. She ain't gonna be on nobody's roster next year, man. She gonna have a torn ACL. She gonna be too old. She's not desired. And I think the way the owners are talking about taking their league back, these old heads that used to hop on these rosters and stuff like that, that might not be happening no more. You know, because these owners, they're getting, from what I heard in those CBA negotiations, they're getting real tough on the players. I mean, the only thing that I don't like, I'm 50-50 on this. I think it's a good idea for those unrivaled players, especially the main ones like Fee and Stewie. You want to keep running that league, then you need to go full time down there. You can't keep bouncing back and forth and using our league to promote your league, because that's what they was doing and doing All-Star Weekend. They wasn't even promoting the WNBA. They was promoting the unrivaled. You know what I'm saying? But I think they should allow the other players, especially the developing players like the Grace Burgers of the world, Serena Sundell, Megan McConnell, to work on their game overseas during the offseason. I think they should still allow the players under contract to still... I know they're concerned about the injuries, and that's the reason why they're doing it, because there were so many injuries from Unrivaled this year. Cross our fingers, Lexie Hull didn't get like a serious injury. She's one of the only ones that played in Unrivaled. And Kay Martin, who didn't get hurt like that. So, maybe because they ain't had no karma coming to him. You see how Fee got hurt? I'm telling you, Fee's injuries were karma based as well. Because the way she did that All-Star Award, that was nasty work from Fee. She been getting karma. Fee's a nasty girl, bro. I don't like Fee like that. Y'all like Fee. I don't like Fee like that. Fee's a negative person. I don't like Fee like that. She be talking shit about the WNBA. I don't like people. I don't like girls like that, dog. She real sneaky, man. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool on Fee. I don't hate her like I do Asia Wilson. Like I hate Asia Wilson because I just think she thinks she all of that and she racist. You know, I'm not supporting nobody just because you black. You can't be racist. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You can't be racist, or at least prejudice. If you don't like the racist term, prejudice. You know, you hate another race, you are that. You're not allowed. I'm black too. I'm not ever using that fucking excuse just because we were enslaved. A lot of fucking cultures. Irish people were enslaved. Native Americans were enslaved. Even some, I just said Irish, so that's white people. Egyptians. A lot of people were enslaved. We weren't the only fucking people in this world that were enslaved, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was enslaved. The only thing that I will say, we went through segregation and shit. That shit was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's history. We need to move on. At some point we got to move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? That we ourselves didn't even go through that. That was like our ancestors and stuff, and grandmothers and great grandmothers, great grandfathers and stuff. They went through all of that. We ain't go through that. We came into a world where we had opportunities and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. You ain't go through none of that. The hell that they went through. You know what I'm saying? They went through what they went through so that you will have a better opportunity than they did. You know what I'm saying? And I just think to hold that over and continue to act like a victim is something that I don't support. I don't give a damn who don't like it. And I just hate that mentality. That's why I make these videos. I call this shit out. Because people don't want to make it seem like white people ain't victims. Like they're not capable of being a victim just because they white. No, if you getting done wrong, and this is even worse. You getting done wrong. It's like if you was at a job, you had a white supervisor and you're white yourself and you get done wrong by your white supervisor. Oh, it should be okay because she's white or because he's white. No, dog. Hate is hate. Wrong is wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no context on, just because of this or that. No, man. No, man. It don't go like that, man. It don't go like that, for real, for real. And Caitlin's been done wrong. Caitlin has been done wrong, man. And the others, Sophie found a way because she's a vet to still get her minutes, still be able to play. But if you don't think Sophie's seeing what's happening around her, That's why Sophie, at times this year, she's been letting you know what's been going on. She been letting you know what's been going on, man. And if she wasn't really playing, I think she would have went full tilt into it. And y'all see what they doing with Sophie now? They've been hating on Sophie ever since the J.C. Sheldon incident. You notice that, right? They've been hating on Sophie. They've been hating on Sophie. Because what it is in this league that I've noticed, they don't want, bro, this is what they don't want, bro. They don't want these attractive white girls to have an Iowa-looking team dominate the league. They don't want that. They do not want that. That's why there's so much negativity that's been against Caitlin Clark. Because they fear that. That's what they really fear. That's what they really fear, y'all. They fear that. They don't want that day to ever happen. Because they don't want this to end up being a super white league or whatever. But I told y'all before, it don't even gotta be that way. We could continue to be diverse, man. I think it's better if the league is diverse, not one race dominating it. You know, we got some Asian players coming through. That's great, man. You know, we got Jane G. Fucking Leah Rue's been doing a good job down in Dallas. We got mixed players out here doing well, like Sonia Citron, and you know, got Azzy Fudd coming in next year. You know. De'Erica Hamby doing well. We got a lot of biracial players doing well right now. You know, Shakira Austin. Then we got, you know, some Latina players in college that's coming through. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. I think we should be diverse. I don't think it should be one. I think we got to get past this stuff, man. This that black girls can only dominate this league. Like, no. 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 It don't gotta be like that. It don't gotta be like that. I think, and then it shouldn't be lesbians being the only ones that dominate either. No. Because they ain't the only ones that can ball. You know, we should be rewarding these opportunities to whoever who could ball. And I think we should start focusing a little bit more on who's marketable going forward. These studs and dykes have not been marketable. They've been keeping people away from the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? They've been keeping people away from the WNBA. Why would we continue to cater to the people who didn't make any money for the league? You know what I'm saying? Caitlin made money because she's an attractive white player who got game, comes from middle America. She's heterosexual. That's what the people want. People want that, bro. Because they ain't really seen that. A girl like that got game too, that made Iowa into a powerhouse. People ain't seen that. And that's what they want to see. And let's stop this trying to keep people from what they want to see. And the reason why I gotta call this stuff out on my channel is because I'm not gonna let it get away. I'm not going to let them get away with this. I'm going to put that into the atmosphere so that it's in the algorithm for anybody to watch. You know, even if the video only get like 1,000 views. I want people to see the truth. I want people to see the truth whenever they can see the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, y'all, man. But that's my time, man. Go on ahead and give me your thoughts on all of this and what you think. And how Stephanie White needs to be gone. I think in order for Cece to get her team back, we got to get her out of here. Even more than like an Amber Cox. Because I think, you know, with Amber Cox, she's probably just going to dictate to whoever's the head coach. So she might not even be that big of a problem. But we know Stephanie White is. But the only thing that I fear with Amber Cox, because she was so bad in Dallas, is that if she don't scout like Phoenix does, or the Golden State Valkyries to get these foreign players. Because we need some foreign players, man. Because I'm looking at the Liberty right now, man. That shit looks scary. I know they didn't beat the Lynx yesterday, but they look scary, bro. Especially when Stewie come back. Man. Them foreigners, Misima, Talbot, Phoebich, and Johannes, Marie Johannes. Woo. Man. Well, go ahead and give me your thoughts, man. Thanks for the donations from Nate and El Professor, man. I appreciate it, man. Y'all remember, y'all can donate to the channel. Links are in the description box below. Cash App and PayPal, man. Thank y'all for watching this one. And watch my other videos where I talk about Serena, Megan McConnell too, man. That's on the channel, and see how they relate to this situation. But go ahead and give this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Aces Angels, y'all.